Mother sees holes in baby's nose. Doctors discover something disturbing. It's commendable how mothers pay attention and notice every change that happens with their infant. This woman saw tiny black holes in her baby's nose, and after she took it to the doctors, they discovered something very disturbing. Meghan Budden is like all of us. We want to smell nice, and of course, we want our home to smell nice as well. Therefore, we all spend a reasonable amount on air fresheners and other products we believe will give our home the desired Uber. For Meghan, her choice was scented candles. They are a mainstay in her home. It is scientifically proven that scented candles can play an essential role in the physiological effects of mood, stress, working capacity, and overall mental health. This lady states she bought them because of her anxiety. They helped me calm down my return from work. I am stressed and just need something to help me detox, and the candles help. They also help with my anxiety. My friends told me to buy the one with rosemary, lemon, chamomile, or geranium scent, Meghan said. This young woman is originally from Ramsey, New Jersey. She attended 2 high schools, Ramsey High School and Midland Park High School, and she studied advertising at Marist College. She and her husband Jeff got engaged in Iceland in December 2013. After dating for about 2 years, Meghan and Jeff tied the knot in July 2014. In October 2015, she had her first son. They had been trying to have a baby even before getting married, but it just never happened. But I guess you can say Jimmy came at the right time, she said. We had been trying to have a baby for some time now, but it just never happened. We even went to see a doctor because we thought maybe something was wrong, but they said we were fine, so we just had to wait, and Jimmy came at the right time. He is just perfect and we love him so much. For Meghan, life was on the right track. Not only did she have a happy family, but her career was progressing as well. She was promoted to creative director at the New York company she worked for. However, in mid-2016, something happened that could have changed her life forever. She always dropped her son at the daycare center and picked him up in the evening when she returned from work. On her way home, she bought scented candles because her friend told her they would help her relax. When she got home, she lit 2 of the candles. I put on 2 candles and placed them on the table in our room. Jeff and I love the smell, and I plan to get more. But could these candles pose a threat to her and her family? The morning after using the candles, the New Jersey noticed something unusual. While bathing her son, Meghan saw what looked like little black holes in the infant's nose. She wasn't sure what they were, so she took out her phone light and looked again. But they weren't holes at all. They were black spots. So she swabbed his nose with a cotton bud. Meghan didn't know what to make of this, but she didn't want to overreact. So she tried her best to wipe out the black spots completely. However, while she was breastfeeding him later, she noticed the same black specks in his nostrils. Hence, she searched the night to figure out what might be the cause of this, but she found nothing convincing. Instead, she retraced her steps. What has she done differently within the last 24 hours that could be responsible for this? Luckily, this was on a weekend, so I had time to study what the reason was. I was really worried, I thought. When I used the cotton bud, I cleaned it off. Now, I know it was always there. It was just very small, like 2 dots in Jimmy's nose. Jeff had gone out early in the morning, so I called him on the phone, and he was worried as well. I must have read over 50 articles on the internet after I'd gotten him to sleep. Then I called my sister, and she didn't know what it was either. I thought about what new thing I had done or bought. Then it hit me. The candles. They were staring right at me at the table. Then I looked at the body. Right now, I had almost turned the house upside down because I was losing my head, she said. Meghan thought the candles couldn't be related to her baby spots. Then she found the instructions that came with the candle. On the label, a warning was written in small letters: do not burn for more than 3 hours in a row. Unfortunately, the mother of one had left it on for over 6 hours. As you can imagine, she was terrified of what would happen to her baby. She got back on the internet as she now knew what to search for. The candles had started providing a dangerous substance called soot. Bear in mind, this is not to say candles are bad. They're not dangerous as long as the instructions are carefully followed on the label. Such is that deep black powdery substance that is produced when a candle burns. Research has shown that breathing these tiny particles can cause coronary heart disease, asthma, bronchitis, and many other respiratory illnesses. The study also reports that exposure to subparticles causes about 200 deaths annually in the U.S. alone. The data also shows that soot also causes nearly 3,000 asthma attacks a year. A teary Meghan said, "I was mad at myself. What I read about soot made me worried. It was not only dangerous for my boy, but for me too. I wasn't worried about myself. Frankly, I didn't care. I just kept thinking about what would happen to Jimmy. Jeff was supportive, but I don't think I would have forgiven myself." A distraught Meghan claimed she couldn't sleep all night. All she could think about was taking her boy to the hospital and hearing what the doctor would say. Has the candle done permanent damage to the little boy? Was it too late for the doctor to do something about it? These and more were the questions that plagued the mind of this woman. She had Jeff check her news, and he saw that she had the same black spots as her son. The next morning, Meghan was first out of bed. Maybe because she didn't get enough sleep, she woke her husband, and he drove her to the hospital. After explaining the situation to the doctor, her baby was taken to the lab for various scans. I was very nervous. They ran some tests on him, then me. Jeff said it didn't take long before the results were out in my head. It was like many hours. I'm not sure how I would have handled it if my husband wasn't there. I don't know how Jeff does it, but he is always calm in such situations. Not me. I was panicking so bad. Thankfully, neither Meghan nor her little boy had suffered any damning consequences. The doctor prescribed some medicines to the duo, and they didn't suffer any adverse effects. For Meghan, it is an incident she would never forget in a hurry, and she believes it changed her life forever. It took a while for me to let go of it. I was surely traumatized. It also made me an expert on scented candles. I was obsessed with reading about their effects for quite a while. It's also why I wanted to share my story with everyone so that they don't have to go through the same issues. If you notice your candle's wick is too long, just cut it to a smaller length and trim it so that it can't hurt you or your children. I also spoke to some churches about it, because when these candles are on in churches for so long, they transform the place into cancer-causing environments. I'm not saying candles are bad. They are beautiful things, but when you leave them on for long, they release harmful toxins. Another danger with scented candles is the organic compound called limonene that many use. It is used to add the citrus aruba to many candles. Just don't let them burn for too long. I still use them, but honestly, it took me a long while before I could trust them again. Meghan and Jeff have since had another baby, and they have remained a happy family ever since. What do you think about scented candles? See you next time.